Good day, gamers. PurpleMentat here, bringing you the start of a brand new series. In the past week, I've put 100 hours into this game, and I think it's safe to say that I have now officially changed my home to Stardew Valley. I'm going to be starting a brand new fresh run with you folks. You'll be able to see everything as I go through. I've already got a skin all picked out. At least I think so. I'm going to ask the Twitch audience as I'm live recording this, like I do all of my series these days. Did I pick the yellow skin, folks? Or not? Anyway, I know what hair I want, and I know that I want shirt number 58. I've spent some time with the character creator and done a few things. When you first enter the game, you should know things are going to be really loud. That goes away later on. When you are a little bit in, you can change the tone of the game. Alright, seems I have the green skin, so that must mean this one's the yellow one. Because purple and yellow, purple and yellow. Hair color, bright purple on the pink end of things. And pants color, I like a gray with this shirt. There we are. Is that the gray I want, or do I want something a bit darker or lighter? Lighter, actually. There we are. Character name, PurpleMentat, and we will be from the Atreides farm, because I'm going to stick with that. And of course, what's a Mentat's favorite thing but melange? Here comes the intro. For anyone curious, this game is very much in the vein of Harvest Moon or Rune Factory. I was not a fan of the Harvest Moon or the Rune Factory games. They didn't catch my interest. I think it might have been an age thing. This game, on the other hand, has sucked me straight into it, and is quite a bit of fun. I have spent 100 hours, 50 of them playing all the way through the first year on my first character, and learning as much as I could, and most of the rest starting over again and again, playing through spring, and learning exactly how I want to tackle things for the videos. I can tell you that the advice that I'm going to be giving you, if you follow along with me, is going to be very atypical. This is not what the average player recommends that you do with this game. The usual advice is to get farming as fast as possible and start making as much money as you can. But in my experience, the thing limiting you early on is not money, and I'll go into the details of the economy in a bit once we get into the actual mechanics of the game. A bit of a storyline is kind of fun. You start out as someone with an inheritance from their grandparent, working in a cubicle farm inside of Joja Corp. Life's better with Joja. As you can see, they will work people to death. Check out the skeleton on the right-hand side. And just getting frustrated with life as you are sick of being under surveillance in your cubicle farm all day. So, finally, it's time to open that letter, like Grandpa said. If you're reading this, you must be in dire need of a change. The same thing happened to me long ago. I'd lost sight of what mattered most in life, real connections with other people and nature. So I dropped everything and moved to the place I truly belong. I've enclosed the deed to that place, my pride and joy, Atreides farm. It's located in Stardew Valley on the southern coast. It's the perfect place to start your new life. This was my most precious gift of all, and now it's yours. I know you'll honor the family name, my boy. Good luck. Love, Grandpa. So, it's time to abandon our life, our job at Joja Corp, and everything that we have known up until now, and get on the bus to Stardew Valley. I absolutely love the sound design in this game. And one other very important note that I think needs to be brought up, everything in this game, the mechanics, the art, The sound, the music, everything has been done by one person. The developer, by name of Concerned Ape, is solely responsible for 100% of this game. They are extremely responsive on Twitter and pay attention to the Stardew Valley subreddit. They are a shining example of what an indie dev should be. So we're greeted by Robin, the local carpenter. She's going to show us to our new home, where Mayor Lewis is supposedly tidying things up. So let's follow her. Also, leak! We're gonna come back for that. And, yeah. Bit of a fixer-upper. Which we clearly weren't expecting. Oh god! I love the sprites in this game. I love everything about this game. There is no part of this game that I dislike. A bit overgrown, she says. By the way, if you prefer using a controller, the controller controls are quite nice, and I use them for 90% of the game. Your new home. If you remember, Grandpa told us to say hi to his old friend Lewis, who apparently is now the mayor of Stardew Valley. Or at least of Pelican Town, the town in Stardew Valley. I'm going to just kind of let it go through the dialogues at my own pace as I read everything to myself. I'm not going to read everything aloud because that would drive me nuts. And I've been through these scenes so many times. Plus, just relaxing and listening to the music is really kind of a part of the game. That's not very nice, Robin. Rude! Don't listen to her. She's just trying to make you dissatisfied. She does sell some very expensive house upgrades. He's actually being completely honest here. Anything you put in the box will be sold at full price. You don't need to distrust the mayor. In fact, no matter where you end up selling anything, you end up getting whatever the market value is. And the sound of the rooster means it is day one. Those of you who clicked the link to skip to the action, welcome back. There's a little something to get you started. We get 15 parsnip seeds. Now, as I mentioned during the intro to everyone else, I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently than you probably see in most Twitch and Let's Plays. So bear with me here. I know what I'm doing. I've actually tested this exact start more than once. Don't water. That's a waste of energy. We are not going to be going heavy on farming at the beginning. Instead, we're going to be spending most of our time and energy foraging for the first couple of days until we get access to the mine, and then we're going to be spending a lot of time in the mines. The foraging that we're going to do at the beginning is going to consist largely of cleaning up our own area. But we're not going to be chopping down any of our trees, and you'll see why in the future. Also, one of the big differences is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut down all of the grass that is in my area. And you will find a lot of people very unhappy with this decision because if you want to get into animals early, this grass is very, very helpful. However, by the time I get into animals, it's not going to be necessary. Oh, by the way, one thing you're probably going to want to do as soon as you get into the game, is head on over to the options menu and adjust the game sound, because the game sound is impossible to adjust from the menu. It is a problem. So I turn it way down there because I like to be able to hear myself speak and that's where the sound is comfortable for me when I am talking into the microphone. So, things you need to know if you're looking to do an efficient start the way I am is the shops are open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The general store specifically is closed on Wednesdays. You have options outside of the general store, but they are more expensive and evil. The reason I am clearing all of my land right here is because the trees can plant seedlings randomly. They will have seeds that drop from them and plant themselves into the ground. And those seedlings are going to be our key to combating the primary early game economy. Now, one would think that in a game about farming, your primary worry is money, and the thing you need to focus on most is making money in an efficient manner. In my experience, that is not true for Stardew Valley. At the beginning of the game, your primary economy, the thing you're going to run lowest on fastest and the thing you need to worry most about, is energy. Every time you swing a tool, it takes at least 1 energy, usually 2. The only time you can get it down to 1 is once you have more skill. Every time you cast your fishing rod, it costs 8-ish. And in general, with only 270 energy to start each day, that means you're going to be extremely limited in what you can do every day, and it's very easy to run out of energy well before you run out of time or money. Now, if you spend a ton of money buying seeds first thing, you're going to be spending all of your energy every day just caring for your seeds, and you're not going to have any left to do anything else. Instead, we're going to be spending our energy caring for our land and making this mess of a farm into a nice forest that can help support us and give us energy on a daily basis. This means that we don't even need to visit the general store on day 1. We have very little use for the town at the moment unless we want to start making friends. But I'm going to focus on improving myself and my land first, and relationships will come later when I actually have something to offer the community, which I feel like is a very me way of going about things. I don't want to show up in town and just be, hey, I'm the new guy. How are you guys? What can you give me? I want to show up when I have something to offer them. There's something very peaceful and serene about the way this game goes and how everything's just... I don't know. I absolutely adore this game. Everything about it is great. So, one thing to consider with your early game energy is making sure that you have the resources to accomplish a couple of key goals, and making sure that you can get any of the wild seeds that you do find from chopping down all of this grass planted. Some of them will be parsnips, some of them will be cauliflower, some of them will be potatoes. All of those are worth growing from the very beginning. So make sure you save some energy at the end of the day, or you plant throughout the day. And try not to chop down your seeds the way I just did. Sigh. Should be better than this by now. Now, chopping down saplings is usually a bad idea. It's not going to be very efficient in terms of your energy spent. But right now, the primary concern for me is making sure that things are clean and tidy around the farm area. Alright, we're going to take a trip. Actually, no, we don't have quite enough wood yet. We're going to keep chopping down the logs specifically. We want to get up to 50 or 100 wood, if we can. Each swing will, at one of these logs will get you 1 wood, and I think we have enough energy to hit the 100 mark. The reason I want 100 is so I can make 2 chests, as the second most limited thing when you begin in Stardew Valley is your inventory. You have 12 slots. That's it, your hotbar, nothing else. You're going to have to wait in advance before you can get anything more than that. Once we have our inventory sorted for the time being, we will be able to go out and do some foraging, but we need to get a place to put all of our excess stuff first. Any veterans who are watching at the moment are crying on the inside as I chop down all of this grass without making it into hay. Now, down here, there's not a lot of point in cleaning all of this out just yet because there's no trees here. You can end up wasting a lot of time cleaning all of this down here too early. And we're actually starting to get to a time this day where time is becoming a factor. So try not to waste too much time down in the lower part. Now, let's talk about the structure of this series. In Stardew Valley, every second of real time is 1 minute in-game, which means every 60 seconds is 1 hour. Each day you wake up at 6 a.m., and you can keep doing things until 2 a.m., though doing so will cost you the next day. Complete with pauses for accessing inventories and chests and that sort of thing, I expect that each day takes 20 to 25 minutes to complete. Some a little more, some a little less. What this means for the series is that every episode is going to be a single day in Stardew Valley, because it all just works out nice and even like that. It's a little shorter than my Minecraft videos tend to run, but I think it'll be a nice, easy breaking point, rather than trying to cram 2 days into things. And I'd like to have a series where I can just record 100% of what I'm doing and share it with you folks. If you would prefer to see me skipping past some of the grindier bits or not showing everything I do, feel free to tell me so in the comments below. I would like to know your opinion on how I should structure this, as these videos are in part for me because I like making them, but mostly they're for you. And if you're not enjoying yourself, then you're not going to be watching, and I'm not going to be able to keep making these videos. So tell me what you think below. Alright, time to get serious about finishing up my first chest so I can drop off everything and head out foraging. There we go. Full day worth of cleaning out some forest, and it doesn't seem like it's very worthwhile, but you'll see exactly why it is once we get to day 2. This particular plan doesn't really kick into gear until day 2 and beyond. So you have to be willing to kind of limit your progress early on. I'm going to make a chest for 50 logs there, so that you can enhance your progress later. And it's hard, I know, to do that sort of delayed gratification. Alright, so we're taking our hoe, our scythe, and our axe with us. Actually, we're going to leave the axe. No, we're not. We're going to also bring our axe and our pickaxe with us out and about foraging. Why? Well, because if we clear certain parts of the land, then we open up more room for forageables to spawn overnight. And the more room there is for forageables to spawn, the more we will be able to gather every day from our foraging skills. Keep an eye on your energy bar. If you allow this to hit 0 or go below 0 because you've spent your last bit of energy and you try to do something else, you're going to be in trouble. You do not want to let that happen. You're going to end up with a sad blue face right here where the mouse cursor currently is, and you will be exhausted. If you allow yourself to fall into exhaustion, you're going to end up waking up tomorrow with half of your maximum energy instead of full. And as I've already stated, energy is your primary limiting factor in the early game. The fact that you start with 270 every day, you need to use all 270 of that every day. If you're not doing so because you've woken up with too little, then you're gonna fall behind. Where are we? No forageables over here. This item I just grabbed is a dandelion. It will restore energy. It's our first food consumable style item. We're going to be making use of those, but not right just yet. I don't need the energy today. When we're going to be making first big use of lots of energy is going to be day 5. Day 5 is when the mine becomes available. Aha, over here we have a wild horseradish. Early game, it is a good idea for you to hang on to one of every item that you pick up until you know what is used and what isn't. However, I have done some pretty extensive research on what is needed and what is not, so I will be selling some things. Alright, we're going to check behind all of these. We're not going to spend too much time in the northwest of this. This is the forest area, by the way. This screen's south of your farm. Because not a ton of things spawn up there, and there are some other more important areas that we're going to check for forageables first. If you remember, there's at least a wild parsnip, or not a wild parsnip, a leek by the bus stop where we came in. Alright, almost 10 p.m. We have about 4 hours left. I'm wondering how well the nighttime stuff comes through on video. I can see just fine, but let me know in the comments below how well you can see when I'm running around at night, because that's important information that I will need to consider for the future. Though I am going to be probably 5 or 6 days in by the end of before you see this first episode, so it may take me a while to respond to comments by changes in gameplay. 8 energy left. Low on wood. That's okay. As you can see, we are working on our foraging skill. When we get that to 1, we will gain something pretty cool. You can rummage through people's waste bins to find some goodies. Broken glasses are one of the goodies that are worth hanging on to for later, because when you get a recycling machine, you'll be able to turn them into something good. And you're pretty much guaranteed a recycling machine if you are a generalist and do a lot of different things. South of town, you can find the beach. On the beach, you can find a lot of forageables that sell quite well, and they're very common. Clams, one of them is useful to hang on to for later, because there is a collection that uses them. But I'm going to go ahead and sell it, because this is going to be worth quite a bit of money for the first day. And my goal, well, there is some money-making goals involved. As you can see, it warns you that it's getting late at midnight. You'll get another warning of more Z's above your head when 1 o'clock rolls around. If you are not in your bed by 2 o'clock, you will fall over and pass out. If you're not in your house when you fall over and pass out, you will be transported home and charged a fee by whatever medical provider ends up transporting you home. So we should have just enough time to grab that daffodil and that leek. But to do so, we're going to need to toss some stuff because we're low on room. The broken glasses are going to have to go. They're worth saving, but not worth that much. So is the fiber, because you can get tons of it everywhere, and it's not that useful. There we go. 12:50 a.m., 1 a.m. We're still doing good. No worries. Now, I'm going to stop at the bin on my way to my bed. We're going to toss in those 2 dandelions, and the clam, and both of the spring onions. And now we're going to rush for bed and catch a nap. Hopefully. Ooh, that was not enough to get foraging 1. We are unlucky. What a shame. Alright, folks. That's going to be the end of episode 1. Hope you've enjoyed the start to our Stardew Valley series. If so, leave a like, tell me what you liked, and if not, leave a thumbs down and tell me what you disliked. Either way, you can catch me from day 2 and on by clicking follow below or subscribe, one of those. And I'll see you next time.